Hi, lads and ladles. Just a quick disclaimer. This episode was recorded quite late. And one of us, I won't say who, but you'll probably be able to tell by my voice, was recovering from a cold. So, warning, you might want to listen to this episode on like 1.25 speed so you don't have to hear so many yawns and clearing of nostrils. I apologise. You know, I wasn't raised right, so I wouldn't know not to do that while recording. But I've listened to it back and I can see how that might be annoying. So going forward, if I'm sick, I will make a really big deal about it on the podcast and you can listen to that knowingly. Anyway, enjoy the show.
Hey!
Hi!
Welcome to Scripts and Giggles with Shoshana.
I'm Manny.
So, we had a really interesting conversation about race just now, but we'll leave that.
No, why don't you, Shoshana, why don't you say what the key takeaways were?
I don't know. Basically, it was kind of inspired by a video by one of my favourite TikTokers, Georgie, who gave a bit of a lowdown into a pattern that she has started to notice with the more hipster white actors or celebrities dating biracial women. And it just led us to kind of see there's this trend starting from the likes of like Robert Pattinson and FKA Twigs all the way to now, like, I don't know, Harry and Meghan.
Does Will Poulter and the many mixed race women that he's left high and dry count?
Yeah, that she also included him in the conversation as well. And then it then moved on to how we've seen race in our lives, romantic and platonic.
Platonic race?
In our platonic relationships. And, you know, what does that mean as black women? Now, I'm not going to go into too much detail because I would love to keep that for another segment.
Why are you teasing the audience like this? That's crazy to be like, oh, we had a conversation, but you're not going to hear it. Anyway.
But there wasn't much of a summary because you just teased me and I just teased you back. One thing I will say is the discussion was, does our environment influence our type? So if you're in predominantly black spaces, if you're predominantly white spaces, if you're in predominantly Asian spaces, or a predominant space with a predominant race, that does not make a single bit of sense. But does that then therefore influence your preference? And I believe it does, because you see the pool around you and you fish from said pool. So that's the insights that I was given in terms of how I've seen my friendship with the male sex, gender, over the course of my life.
I would say in terms of the trend, as we talked about briefly just off air, there is a very specific kind of mixed race women that they pick. Well, I can't speak for all of them, but definitely for Robert Pattinson, and they did Tom Hiddleston and Zoe Ashton. Yeah. And FKA Twigs and Zoe Ashton are not estate girls, shall we say.
No.
So those like hipstery white celebrities are also really posh.
Yeah.
Are dating other posh people. Yeah. Really. And the only reason why this is like, ooh, is because she's not white.
Yeah.
But if she was white, you wouldn't even blink at it.
Yeah.
There
wouldn't be a story.
And as always, I feel like in this country, I've said this so many times, class is a division first, and then race.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't be surprised if those mixed race girls feel more kinship towards those posh white guys than they do towards poor black guys. I don't know. I'm not trying to accuse them of anything, but I'm like, I always find like, sometimes when we have these conversations where like, oh yeah, these white men preying on, as if a woman didn't also make a decision to date. He's not got her by the throat. She went there willingly. Why? She thought he was a catch and he thought she was a catch.
Yeah.
So what's the dynamics and the politics between there? Let's not act like the only person doing something. What's the word? There's a word for it, but I can't remember it.
Insidious. No, I mean that would be the right word.
No, it's like transgressive. That's it.
Wow.
Let's not act like the only person doing something transgressive is the guy. Like, people always like, oh, well, you know, white men think that, you know, black women are trends or soup du jour or exotic or something to wear on their arms. And it's like, but don't the black women feel that way about their white partners as well? Yeah, there are women that date white men only exclusively. Yeah. And for what? Because they want to show hey, everybody come and see my white husband. Everybody.
Come on.
I have a white husband. Come and see.
That's crazy.
And, you know, I might have said this story on the podcast, that somebody at a party was like to me, like, yeah, I like, everyone's always talking about how, like, I like your cousin, but, like, I actually like white guys. And I was like, oh, okay. And she was like, you get it. Like, why the fuck do people keep saying this to me?
I mean,
this will be, she was the first one.
Yeah.
There was that other time where
the work meal, yeah, I remember that one.
And then when I took a sewing class.
Oh, yes.
I was like, there's clearly something about the way that I present in the world that makes people be like, you like the way.
Yeah.
And I'm like, do I?
Maybe it's your demeanour.
Yeah, I'm really standoffish.
Yeah.
And I'm read as autistic in public settings sometimes, I think. So I think people think that are like, oh yeah, she thinks she's better than everyone. It's like, I'm actually just really scared.
I wouldn't have guessed that. But two, does that, you being standoffish, does that mean that you're more aligned to being with a white man?
It's like I'm like, you know, clutching my purse. We're at a family gathering and I'm like,
all right, Karen.
oh, I don't want these kids running around. Like, does anyone, where are the parents? Where are the parents? That kind of energy.
Okay.
But obviously not that, because I'm not actually 48.
Yeah.
But as in, I'm very like, I have my plate of jollof and I'm eating that and I'm not really talking to anyone.
Okay.
But what you have to understand is I would do that anywhere.
True.
Like, these people look at me thinking I'm going to go to a white party and be like, hey! No, at the white party I'm also being like, where's the food?
And they'll be like, we've really got snacks.
Cool. I need a glass of wine refilled every 5 minutes.
Or I'm going to just have a quick wander outside Kelce, the nearest McDonald's, and grab a quick snack.
I'm gonna go for a smoke. You never see me again.
Yeah. It's like, where's your friend gone?
She said she was going to shop. But you don't know that, right? You've just met me today, so I can absolutely understand that, like, my reservedness.
Yeah.
And again, I think this goes back to, like, the internalized racism. We think of black people as loud and ostentatious. Yeah. So when you are reserved, people are like, oh, she thinks she's someone.
Yeah.
Oh, she thinks so. She likes to read books and she likes to talk in her little posh accent. Oh, she thinks she's someone. The only person that she likes is white. A lot of assumptions have been made.
So many assumptions,
and they're all based on what you think being black is, and not based on the fact that maybe I'm uncomfortable because I have autism.
Yeah. Or I just don't want to be here. How about that?
I mean, I would just go home. You could do that.
That is true.
The amount of times that is the case where it's just like, I'm actually just, like, this is very overstimulating.
Yeah.
And also, I don't know where, I don't know where to go, as you will hear in our Edinburgh episode, I literally shut down. I cannot function. I need to go home because I don't know where I'm supposed to be right now. So I think there's some of that, but I truly think the white man, biracial, often quite light skin as well.
Really light skinned.
Girlfriend.
It's very much white passing.
It's always people of a certain class. Yeah. But nobody want to talk about it.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna talk about it.
Yeah.
Because most working class, I mean, I don't know, someone could do a survey, but most working class mixed race women probably date black men.
Potentially.
Clock it.
Potentially.
Maybe. I don't know. I don't know the statistics, but I'm thinking of all the mixed race women I know.
Yeah.
Who are working class.
Yeah.
They date black men.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Okay.
Work.
We'll keep you posted on
How can we do that? We're going to go out and ask every single mixed race person we see who they're dating, and then we'll come back and...
We're going to move on to talk about other mixed race couples in the pop culture segment. Firstly, your face looks so confused. We actually are going to be talking quite a few mixed race couples.
Who's a mixed race couple?
Whitney and Lochan.
Is that mixed race or is it interracial?
Oh yeah, sorry. We're going to talk about quite a few interracial couples in our pop culture segment.
Who that was?
Nicolandria.
Right, okay.
And Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce.
LOL. That's the one good joke she's made today.
One.
Give a round of applause for Shauna's one remaining brain cell that managed to get that out. Yes, she did laugh through the punchline, but she did actually have one, so we've got to give her props where it's due. Do you want to start?
Okay, I'll start actually with Nicolandria. It's very quick. We had the Love Island Series 7 reunion recently, and perfectly honest, it's like all reunions, a bit of a dud. Everyone trying to like wipe their asses of the things that they did during the show and also post the show. There's been a lot of interviews where people are just dogging each couple out. When it comes to Nicolandria in particular, there's so many couples who believe, or people, islanders in general, who believe that they are faking their relationship because they have ultimately
Why
become...
is this your problem though?
100%. Like, I don't understand why people care so much. Ultimately, Nick and Nicolandria have become probably the most successful couple from the season. The winners broke up literally the day after the reunion because I think their contract ended. Plus another couple in the final, I think, broke up as well. So it's not looking great in general for like in terms of the winners. But Nick and Alondra have been doing a lot of brand deals. They did a NYX collaboration because Alondra was very popular with her lip combo, which always end up when she kissed Nick, like he was just covered in like brown lip gloss. And so they did like a collaboration that sold out multiple different times. And after the reunion, Ace, who wasn't a finalist, but he was really he was partnered with Shelley, and Shelley is really good friends with Nicolandria, mainly Alandria. Mm-hmm. And he went on a podcast with Speedy, and when Speedy asked Ace, "Oh, do you think that Nicolandria is a real couple?" Ace was super quiet, and he was just blinking hard. So, yeah, even someone that was that close to you as a couple.
But that's not really your mate, though. Because if that was your boyfriend, you'd be like, yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Why would you want Mike to block my messages if he was my friend? You're not my friend.
A lot of people think he's either telling him... Some people think he's telling the truth, especially those who are Nicolandria haters. And also, the other half kind of believe that he's either lying or he's just jealous of the success that Nicolandria have got. Because ultimately, Shelley and Ace, they should have won, perfectly honest, because they were the strongest couple throughout a good chunk of the season. And they were kicked off just before the finale because, I actually don't know the full reasons, but they were kicked off, or eliminated just because they had the lowest votes.
Right, so you shouldn't have won then.
Yeah, okay.
We'll talk about this, I think, later when we talk about Love is Blind. The show is not about fairly rewarding the person who fell the most in love.
Yeah,
it was about
true.
It's a game of pick me.
Yeah.
Pick me, like my story.
Love me.
They didn't care about your fucking story. That's why they voted you off. I know it sucks for you because you're invested in your story.
But we're not.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that's what the game is. So being jealous or mad at other people is kind of stupid because you didn't figure out, and we talked about this, you weren't able to translate your love story in a way that made people at home feel excited about it.
That's true.
You're not a story producer, and that's okay.
Yeah, it's fine. So yeah, that was Nicolandria. They still seems to be going from strength to strength, and I wish them nothing but the best. Of course, I don't know if they're gonna stay together forever. I don't think they will, but I think they should ride this wave for as long as they can. They are a success story because of just how incredibly twisty and turny their story was on the show, but also how I think there is a genuine friendship, and if they're not already a couple or have made things official, I think they will very soon. But anyway, we'll move on to our next mixed race interracial couple, Whitney and Lochan.
So Lochan has announced that he is suing Whitney for implicating that he was implying that he was racist in a video that has caused damages to his career. What?
I was saying what career, but also...
No, what career, but also...
What the hell?
Huh?
Yeah, it was wild. To me, it was giving
that
America...
would have gone away.
Yeah.
If you just shut the fuck up about it.
I agree.
You're going to sue her. Now, you look even... If you weren't guilty before, you know why you look guilty to me now? Because what person who actually had feelings for someone once would take them to court?
Yeah. For defamation.
For defamation of character.
You two were arguing at each other. It wasn't like she said, oh, you're a racist. She showed things that you had done in the past.
She never actually said you was a racist.
No.
She never said that.
So, we'll have to see where it all lands, but
It's dark.
It's so disappointing. I remember when I used to watch those videos as a couple, and I just never would have expected this is where it would end up.
It's dark.
Yeah.
And I feel for Whitney.
Yeah.
I would say I feel for both of them, but I mean, I can see how if you were the CEO of fucking Tesco, you might be like, my job is on the line. But I can understand, these are two people who make a living off the internet, and if the internet thinks you're racist, it's going to be hard for you to make a living going forward, so I can understand why he is worried about that. But I don't think suing is the way. To me, I always think, if there's drama on the internet, solve it on the internet.
Yeah. Yeah. This court case isn't really about Whitney. I think it's about his public opinion, or people's public opinion of him. So
yeah, it's like Drake suing Kendrick.
Yeah.
If you want to fight me, write a song. Why the hell are you taking me to court?
Yeah.
Grow up.
So yeah. The next interracial couple is Travis Kelce and Taylor Swift. We want to say congratulations to them both because they got engaged.
I never said that.
Okay, well, I would like to say congratulations because they got engaged.
I don't care.
I use the I.
No,
pronoun.
I'm just saying, you're saying congrats and I'm saying I don't care.
Yeah.
Not about you saying congrats,
Yeah,
I'm saying I don't
true.
care about the announcement.
I will say the only reason I made a joke about them being an interracial couple is because if you watched the dating show that Travis Kelce was on years ago, and also his dating history in the lead up to Taylor Swift, he liked a single demographic.
And this is going back to the demographic stuff. You get to pick and choose as a white man what version of yourself you want to be, depending on what race of woman you're dating.
Yeah.
That's weird and scary. I don't like that.
I know.
I know that people are like, yeah, Travis is black, like, deep down he's always go back to his roots, but like, this is actually a perfect encapsulation of the way that white people use black people to garner popularity when they need it, and as soon as they have collected as much clout as they need, they're going to go back to...
Yeah.
Now Taylor Swift arguably has way more clout than either one of his exes.
True.
So...
True.
Do with that what you will.
Yeah, so congrats to them. Next.
Millie Bobby Brown, a 21-year-old child, basically. Child bride, because she did also just get married, has adopted a baby.
Yeah, congratulations to them.
Huh?
You're free. How old is she?
21!
Sorry, 21.
Do you think that's an acceptable age?
Absolutely not. She's still a child herself.
It's very weird.
It is weird.
We shouldn't give money to people. Why can't she, like, I don't know, start a business?
I don't know. I mean, I have...
Adopting a baby.
Adopting a baby is a big ass commitment.
100%. You can't dump this kid out afterwards.
Yeah, and also it makes me think, when do they start the process? Because, like, I have a friend who went through a foster. Like,
they bought that baby.
Okay.
They bought that baby.
Because I was gonna say, like, the process is long.
There's no way they would let a 90-year-old start going through the process of adopting. And of all the things to adopt, a newborn baby.
Yeah, that was crazy.
They bought that baby. In America, there are private adoptions, isn't it?
Yeah.
So
the question is why. We never know. We would never know. But yeah.
I mean, I really pray for that baby.
True.
And then I pray it has a good life and it, lives in a safe home.
Well, that was actually very quick pop culture news. and we're gonna get straight into the review because we need to talk about Love Is Blind, series 2.
Series 2.
Series 2 of the UK. We had series 1 last year. We're now following up with the second season. Is it going to live up to it? Let's find out.
No. No, it did not live up to expectation.
Absolutely not. No.
It was awful.
Yeah. I've said to you already that I'm kind of struggling with a lot of shows on Netflix. So just the connecting with those shows. The shows I used to watch before, I've just not been as interested. So, whether that's Perfect Match, didn't even finish it. Bachelor Fan Take, Bang Bang, did a summary.
Perfect Match was awful.
It was really bad, so I'm glad I didn't watch it. Then I was kind of excited to see Love Is Blind UK, but you've made a very great point when you saw the trailer. Where are the blacks?
Where are they at? Where are they at?
Where are they at? Because it was given a lack of diversity.
And I know people probably like, what about Javin? What about Patrick? What about... Clowns only! Clowns only! You're making us all look like clowns because there's no other representation on here. Katisha, Anu, Patrick and Javan, clowns, each of them.
Yeah, each one. Every single one.
Might as well not have them on the show.
Yeah.
But then if we didn't have them on the show, it would be even more boring than it already was.
Yeah. And I think we've already seen the recipe from the US. If you have one predominant race or type of people, the show will be dry. To the point where, you made a point in our Edinburgh episode, which will be released soon, that Stephen Lambert, who is probably the best way to describe him, is like the king of reality TV in the UK. He said that casting is key when it comes to unscripted shows. You have to cast well. And one thing about Love Is Blind, what I do love, and I have been seeing it in this season, in previous seasons, and also like even other like franchises, is that they do look for older contestants. It's not a Love Island, age bracket. So I like that we are getting a little bit older in terms of our contestants. But that being said, the issues are still the same and equally disappointing.
To pick up on your point, the format can only do so much.
True.
It really is almost 100% down to the casting.
Yeah.
Like, the success of Traitors is, more times than not, the insane people that are on Traitors.
Yeah.
Sitting around a table discussing who do you think the traitor is isn't inherently in itself entertaining unless people are going to be really passionate about it.
True.
That is what I think was the problem with... When I watched... I didn't even finish the first episode of Perfect Match. I saw who was on it and I said, no.
Yeah.
I don't... But all of these characters suck.
Yeah.
There's no one for me to cling on to, and they're like, okay, they're all kind of annoying, but at least there's people that feel genuine.
Yeah.
This season, within the first... I watched the pod episodes and I said, is this everyone?
Yeah. Well, I mean, they introduced Jazz and Barda a little bit later, but still, it was a bit anticlimactic. The best way to describe it.
Which makes me think that they either cut someone else out, they must have had other couples that they ended up cutting out.
Well, they did, because there's actually one of the couples who were cut, they got engaged, and they're still together. They are the second success story.
Bizarre.
Yeah.
It's bizarre
right?
to me that you decided to keep this footage and edit this into an episode and then a series.
Yeah.
If I watched back the rushes from... I don't even know whether it's the same, but if I watched back even the pod dates, I'd be like, oh, we're going to have to scrap this season.
Yeah.
We're going to have to call Netflix and be like, I know this is unprecedented, but we have to start again.
The commissioners will watch every single day. They will literally just sit there and watch dates. They did that for season 1, just pouring in and watching every single day. So they'll probably have an idea of like, where is the story? But there wasn't as much of a story than like previous season, series 1. There was a love triangle with Ollie, that blonde girl, and that other girl.
Really helpful.
Well, the girl she came to the reunion.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
And then the blonde girl, I can't remember her name. But they had their love triangle. And then what else did you have in the pods?
Sorry, Benaya and...
Yeah, sorry.
How could you forget the most important one?
the wildest things. But yeah, exactly. You had Vinay, you had Nicole, and you had the other guy who was actually just got engaged, and I think
he's become a dating coach or something.
Oh, sit down. Oh God, everyone's been adding coach to their name and think that's the job.
Scary.
Speaking of coaches, what's that boy's name? Steven. Was it Patrick? Should we just start going through a couple of quick summaries?
Yeah, very quickly. This is how you know it was a boring season. Why was one of the couples their main issue is the wife is a flight attendant and also she likes to eat food?
That was crazy. And I just knew as soon as he raised the issue with the job, when I was like, but isn't your job like you work in the army?
Like you're in your house. You're in your house 9. It's not a 9 to 5. You're not at home like that.
I thought when they first started talking, I was like, oh well. And the couple we're talking about is Billy and Ashley. I thought, well, they have that connection. She's cabin crew, he's military. They travel, so they have that connection. And then, over the course of the time, I'll be honest. I know everyone loves Ashley. She was giving me heavy, deep down pick me energy.
Yeah.
It was.
But I think they all did.
They did, but I felt like
especially.
Her especially, and it was giving like desperation, and it frustrated me like so much because, number one, I've never seen a woman beg. Like she was literally begging him after he said, "Oh, I'm concerned about this cabin crew thing." In the pods, because he raised it, and I would say, it's good for him to have raised the whole issue with the cabin crew. But when she went back to him, she was like, "No, I believe in us. I think we're gonna work out. I think you should marry. Basically, I think you should marry me, and the cabin crew issue isn't the problem because don't worry, I'll change my job to work on a desk. Because when I'm having children, because I want a different change of pace." And I remember just shouting to the TV like, "Girl, get up! Like, if you want to go and work on desk and do the corporate thing within the same company, all well and good. But if you're doing it for a man, stand up."
The problem with Love is Blind and with all of these dating shows at this point, sit up. Keep that in the pod as well. The problem with these dating shows is that people come on here to be picked. They don't come on here to find love.
Yeah.
She was pushing because she wanted to be picked. I want to make it out of the pods. That's the truth of it. The Katisha Javin, Damalola issue. Javin wanted to be picked.
Demola, that's his name.
He wanted to be picked.
Yeah, 100%.
And Katisha was like, "Oh, I'm the big decision maker," and she chose
wrong
the dummy. And then in the Barda and Jess situation, I honestly don't know what happened there because they made such a big deal of throughout the season talking about we've not had an argument. All of a sudden, they have one argument. She's like saying no at the altar, and then the whole thing falls apart. They only dated for 3 weeks after.
Yeah, wild.
A mess. Like you guys are either so that whole thing that we saw was a lie.
Yeah, of course.
And if it was a lie, you did it because you wanted to be picked.
Yeah.
And then Megan and her dude, they're cute.
I really like them.
Yeah, I love them. They seem cute, but like they match each other's energy 100%. Yeah. And so seeing them and seeing all those other couples, you're like, of course you guys weren't gonna fucking make it.
Yeah, shoot. No, when they first started talking, so I'll go back to some of the other previous couples, but I just want to talk about
so
Megan
and Kyle, don't even.
Yeah, let's not please, because when Megan and Kieran started talking, Sophie was in the picture. And initially, I kind of liked Sophie's vibe. Like, I was like, you know what?
She was a big nigga.
Yeah, I was like, I relate to some of this.
What did you call me?
Like, but I related to her the way that she bantered, and she was a little bit closed off, but it got to a point, like, the first date you can get away with, like, the jokey banter, being a bit of a nigger.
Yeah, not answering any of the questions.
Yeah. The second or third date, while Megan was starting to build deeper relationships with Kieran, Sophie was still doing the same, I'm gonna neg.
But for Sophie, that's worked.
True.
She didn't know, she wasn't listening properly. When Kieran said, "I'm a dude who makes gays for a living," do you think that's the kind of guy that you can bully into submission?
Come on.
He's going to respond to Megan's open vulnerableness and honesty more than he's going to respond to, I like clothes and I like Prada and I'm going to empty your wallet. a very specific man likes that kind
Yeah.
of thing, and he's not the guy
He's
that you
not.
marry.
Even though, for all his gaming, he's done very well for himself.
What do you mean by that?
He's like in his 30. He's in Forbes 30.
He makes
30.
games. He doesn't play games.
He plays games as well, but I know he makes games.
Yeah.
But he's become an entrepreneur. He's like a genius. Like he's good. And when I saw all the guys, because we saw the photos and they were horrendous, I was like, Kieran is the best of the bad bunch.
Yeah.
He's not Freddy.
But you would say that.
Anyway, he's no Freddy from series 1.
Got her.
But, you know, he definitely scrubs up well. The reunion look was interesting.
I mean,
I wasn't sure.
that's how I felt when I saw him. But I was like, he's a bit of a clown, though, isn't he?
Yeah, exactly.
But a good clown, not like the other clowns.
No. To me, he has a good head on his shoulders. I loved their couple. And even when they got to the altar and even their wedding like segment, I kind of smiled, and I only like smile and feel connected to a couple on a few occasions with Love Is Blind. One was Tiffany and I'm about to call him Haddish.
Tiffany and Haddish is crazy. Barnett.
No, the woman that she did.
Oh, I know who you mean.
Tiffany Brown and something Brown. Anyway,
yeah, I know who you mean.
That couple.
Clay? No. That was the other guy who was bad.
Tiffany and Brett. That when they had their vows, I was smiling like I was so like smiley and giggly, and I felt like, oh my god, this is so sweet. This is such a fun couple. And then of course Lauren and Cameron, and you know, perfect honest, those are the only two couples.
I skip all the weddings.
I know you do every time.
Boring.
But I do watch it even because it's nice background TV. Once you get to like the main decision. But yeah, going back to the Ashley point, I didn't particularly like her in general. I thought she was too much of a pick-me. And I also didn't like the way that, you know, when they got to the Cyprus with Katisha, like, okay, Katisha and Javin were already showing red signs. But I felt like Ashley was like, oh, Katisha, what do you feel about, like, Javin?
Yeah, she kind of elected herself, like, the group therapist because she was in such a secure relationship that she felt like she could, you know, pass on advice to other people.
Yeah, but then, lo and behold, like, he was
Can't tell when a man don't like you.
Exactly.
And also, you don't have very good standards for yourself because even on, again, I know I made it sound small, the whole food thing, because it is, like, literally, like, huh? But I've really, really felt I very much related to her struggle of like having like being underweight and then getting to a place where you are finally enjoying food and eating and putting on and you know, being a healthy weight, and for someone to try and tell you that you have to now restrict your food is like insane. But also, if someone is genuinely telling you that, is that person that you want to build a life with?
True. But I think it could have been any guy. She was like, no, we're getting married. And you could tell, and even on the wedding day.
So, did she actually find him attractive?
She never said.
Because
he's 36.
Hard 36.
So hard.
Very hard 36.
So hard.
And not a particularly nice personality either.
No.
So, what was you so desperate to be with?
She just wants a man.
Yeah, there was so many times she was like, I can imagine. He was like, oh, I can imagine you taking you to work things and you being on my arm. I was like, is that what you're excited to just be somebody's accessory?
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's
2025 and apparently so.
Yeah.
Should we talk about
the Katisha, Devon, Demila?
Yeah, let's talk about Katisha. Basically,
study needs to be done.
I don't think a study does need to be done. I feel like everybody always like acts like they are so involved and would never make the same mistake twice. Meanwhile, you keep dating your ex. Like, no, you're not better than Katisha. You're not. She has two modes, right? There's a two paths in front of her. The path of that's unknown, where she might be happy at the end, and the path that is known that she's used to.
Yeah.
And she chose the path that she was used to. Javan didn't give her anything, but he was fun.
Yeah,
he didn't connect. They didn't connect on an emotional level at all, but he was fun.
Yeah,
and that made her feel safe. I don't have to. I'm not going to get my heart broke because we're not. Because to some extent, I'm guarded.
Yeah.
To be with Deborah is scary and new, and would require me to also engage my heart, which I don't want to do because I'm scared of getting it broken. So I'm gonna pick the safe option, and then we're all gonna sit here and act surprised when the safe option did exactly what the safe option has done in the past.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be honest though, Double R, nobody's saying this, everybody's likes him, but it was giving love bombing to some extent. You're giving a lot that's not being reciprocated either. Why aren't you taking stock of like, okay, I'm telling you this, that, and other, and I want to spend the rest of my life with you, and I would treat you like a princess, and you're going, okay,
yeah,
stop. Stop. Like, if you're giving 110% to your partner and you're getting 10% back, stop.
True.
Like, you're not reading the room either, so I don't think he is completely an innocent and this lover boy that we all need to live for.
No,
he is not reading the signs, because Katisha is giving you mixed signals, and you're saying that's the girl I want to be with.
Yeah. I think he probably got to his senses now, but
I don't know if he did. At the reunion, I got the impression, that they were like, how do you think it would have been if it was you and Katisha? It's like, yeah, well, I would have been committed to Katisha, and I really liked her, and I was like...
I don't think they would have been together either. I felt... I didn't see much of attraction between them either.
His answer was given, regardless of what happened, I would have married this girl.
And
is that not the same?
Yeah, true. It's
Pick
probably
the energy.
Yeah, it is the same. I think it's the whole idea is that I came on this experiment, I don't want to leave single.
Yeah, and I think that is nuts.
Yeah.
Because... sadly, baby, that's not what the show is about.
True.
The show, you think is here for you to find love. No, the show is here to tell us the best entertaining story. They've put people here to do that, not two people who are going to be the best match for each other.
Yeah.
So if you genuinely think you're coming on here to find the love of your life and then leave with your love of your life, you are a dummy.
Oh yeah, 100%.
That's why it's so miraculous when it happens for the Lauren and Camerons and the Benaya and Nicole's of the world, because what is the likelihood that actually you was going to meet your other half on a show that has been cast for drama? That's what it's been cast for. That being said, I'm genuinely curious about what Javen's type is.
Why?
Because I did not feel that he found Katisha attractive at all.
No.
And she's a pretty girl.
So pretty.
She's a pretty girl.
Pretty.
In any colour, she's a pretty girl. So I was confused. His energy always felt like two mates hanging out. And even though she was like, oh yeah, you know, they had slept together, I think, on the honeymoon. Not the honeymoon, when they went to Cyprus.
No way, yeah.
I just didn't buy any chemistry. Which is, I think it's even worse to have had sex with someone and to still give, we're just two buds hanging out. Did you buy Javen's story about the night out?
Oh god, no, of course not, because of how he behaved early in that day, in plain sight, in broad daylight. The fact that he was talking to Sophie as if they were buddies, as if he was flirting with her.
Bizarro.
Yeah, what you say?
When he was asking her where she lived.
Yeah, that was weird. That was so weird.
You're naughty.
It was like, yeah, you're naughty. Where do you live? He disregarded Katisha in every single form. When she asked him exactly what happened, or saying, did you not see that I was upset at the bar when you were talking to Sophie? And he was like, no. And he almost like kind of manipulated her, going like, well, basically it's kind of like your fault. And he did the exact same thing with the photo booth question. And the thing that really there were two things that really was grinding my gears. Firstly, the way that he spoke to Megan and Kieran as well. It was really bad. It was so argumentative, so defensive. And I stand by them. I don't care if there was a curtain in the photo booth or not. Megan and Kieran were right in terms of one, telling Katisha, because he was probably acting like a dog on that night out, thinking I've forgotten that I'm a fiance, even though you're saying that you love Katisha, you love this other girl. So there's that. And two, I've never wanted to slap the smile off someone's face.
And it's sorry, the other thing that is so gross is his mum and his sister defending the behaviour.
Yeah.
Like, are you crazy? Like, even at the reunion, they're sat in the audience like smiling along with him. It's like he's a fucking he has the emotional intelligence of a toddler, and you support that. He's so manipulative in the way that he speaks. Like that conversation with Megan, the reason why she got upset, I completely understand, is because the stuff that he was pulling them on and refuting was not the substance of what the issue was. I went to your partner and told them the way that you were behaving yesterday is not the way that a man who's on his way to marry someone else should behave. He didn't refute that. what he refuted was there a curtain on the photo booth or not?
And that's the problem. It's like, forget about the whole argument. This small little thing I must argue to the finish line.
Very specific narcissistic people argue.
Yeah, exactly.
I know I'm not gonna win if I address the thing that you're saying, because what you're saying is true. So I'm gonna harp on the fact that you used a word 45 minutes ago that was incorrect.
Yeah.
And therefore that means everything you've said to this point is null and void. That's what I'm doing. So you can't win. And I'm sure that for Katisha, who could not get a read on him that entire time that they were together, she probably just was like, he seems like he likes me, but then also sometimes he doesn't. I don't know, so I'm just going to keep going for as long as I can keep going.
But again, I think a lot of that is just trauma patterns from her previous relationship. Like, I am very, very proud of her that as soon as Megan told her, she believed her. And that's when she packed her bags and left. Because I would have hated to see them stay.
If she had given him the chance to explain, he would have dragged her all the way to the altar and then embarrassed her at the altar.
I think that's what he was waiting for him to do. It was like saying no and then start smiling like, no.
Honestly, they're better than me, because I really wanted to, throughout the reunion, I kept being like, what's funny? What's funny? What's funny? Why don't you share the joke with everyone? Because I want to laugh as well.
Yeah, it was getting on my nerves.
You're not even fit enough. It just makes me sick when I see mid-men behaving in that way. You're not hot enough to pull the stunts that you think you can pull.
But he believed that he was hot enough when he won the race with Demola. Like,
Exactly, because he's a bit me. Oh my god!
Yes,
Anyone who's in a freeway situation and is excited to engage in the freeway situation is a problem.
Yeah.
And the fact that none of the boys was backing him, also so telling.
To tell you a big thing.
Also so telling.
Yeah.
One last thing I was going to say about Katisha and Johan and Demola. Can't remember. It's gone out of my head.
Yeah.
But I also think she enjoyed the power of having two men fighting over her. And she let that get to her head and make a stupid decision. So I don't think she deserved hate for it.
No.
And I do think all the people who are like loving Demola down are gonna read a story 5 years from now that's like, he's been charged with stalking because he's a bit weird. Sorry.
He was a bit weird. I don't know. The casting is the biggest issue with the show. And then moving on to Kelce Rover. Look, I didn't think they were going to make it to even the pods. I mean, so make it even to the wedding. So, for context, and this is probably going to highlight the issue that we had with the show. Sarova is Indian. Cal is Pakistani. They make that very clear in the conversations during the pod, which, perfectly honest, defeats the whole purpose of Love is Blind, because I shouldn't be knowing where you're from.
I shouldn't know anything that
Not
could
a single
give
thing.
me an idea of what you look like. And your race is going to tell me what you look like.
Yeah, exactly. So they exchange like, oh, we're from different cultures, and from a cultural perspective, there sometimes can be disagreements between the Indians and Pakistani in terms of marriage and relationships like that. So for her, she knew that she was going to be breaking a boundary and having to set up what we come to learn, new boundaries when it comes to her parents, or mainly her mum, about her dating life, because she wants to date, of course, Cal, but the mum was warning her not to do it. And hindsight's 2020, because I'm sure the mum is like, I told you so, girl, I told you so.
No, her mum seems, I'm sure it was really intense. Like, her mum strikes me as a person who was trying to warn her child, not so that she could be like, I told you so, but just because she just didn't want her to get hurt. Like, I really felt in that reunion that, like, what Cal had done to Sarova had hurt her mum deeply as well. Like, she could barely speak to him, but he was a prick at the reunion. But you continue.
So, that was number one. Number two, during the course of the relationship, there were two quite glaring red flags. The first red flag was actually more evidence to Sarova, because as soon as they got engaged and they were on their honeymoon, Cal made it clear to Sarova that Sarova is not really his type, because he normally dates white blondes, which again sparks this insecurity for Sarova, because she's like, well, I'm not his type, even though, perfectly honest, he's her type. So I think that really started that, especially when, you know, they were hanging around by the pool and Bada's there, and, you know, Sorova's in her head thinking, oh, is Cal going to be talking to Bada? But, like, that didn't end up being a thing at all. The second red flag, which actually wasn't as evident to Sorova, so I kind of understand her, like her reasoning to say yes, was the brother who flagged and said, I know Cal, and he is not one to take a wife. He's not one to take a big commitment. And that was a red flag that I wish Sorova had heard, because I think she probably wouldn't have gone ahead with the wedding.
I think she would have. I think she really liked him.
She did, yeah. But I just never got that he really, really liked her.
No. He used the words that would imply that he really liked her. But I do not think you look the love of your life in their eyes and say, yeah, this is so weird because I usually date blonde white women. Why would you tell me that?
Yes.
What purpose does that serve? It's weird.
Nothing. Yeah. So that was that, and then the fact that the brother was like, this boy, he doesn't commit. He's not really known. He's not really known to kind of be that committed in a relationship. That's what I wish she would have heard, because I think even if she didn't change her mind, at least she would have had some rationale to his behaviour. But they do get married. They do both say yes. And when they do get married, I was like, this is a pleasant surprise. And it's kind of sweet. You know, it's really kind of sweet. I love the opener with the traditional Indian drummers. It just was really nice as an opener for the wedding, but also the wedding itself. And then at the reunion, we come to find out, which I think the producers did it in such a clever way. I actually was like, wow, I'm surprised they even did this kind of switcheroo. Is that they first showed, quote unquote, Cal and Sorova's first year of marriage. So we're using a lot of their video footage on their phones, etc. And then as soon as they come out of the VT, Mac turns to Sorova and says, well, how was your first year? And she was like, first year of what? And I think that was when we first realised, oh wait, we are now in this like slaughterhouse of divorces and breakups.
So Cal and Sorova were actually married for how long?
3 months.
And then Cal basically tells Sorova, oh, do you know what? This isn't for me.
Yeah.
I'm not feeling a spark.
Yeah, it's crazy.
I'm going to go. And that's that. And I do feel like see, the difference between her and Cal's conversation and like Ashley and Billy's conversation, I found like Ashley felt like she came there to be like, here's my moment. You're not going to make a woman feel like this again.
Someone said that she sounds like she's from HR.
She does.
Yeah.
Or like a teacher.
Yeah.
But I felt like with Sorova, there was one point that they made which I thought was like such a good one, and why like divorce doesn't happen that quickly for most people.
Yeah.
But it's like, you've decided that you don't want to be in this anymore. It still requires a conversation.
Yeah, true.
And he's like, why do we need to talk? It'll just drag it out more. It's like, but it's a joint marriage.
Yeah.
You can't just turn around to someone one day and be like, I'm going. There are there's a legal agreement binding us. So I do require a bit more of a conversation. And okay, fair enough, they've been married 3 months, they probably don't have assets together. But if you would just do that, I'm going to drop you a line and say, by the way, I don't want to be with you no more.
Yeah, of course.
You would do that at any point in your life. And it's very callous and it's very cruel. Especially when the other person has no clue that you are unhappy, let alone at a point of wanting to get a divorce.
Yeah. I mean, it's the fact that you could do that kind of behaviour, even though it's not right. You can do that kind of behaviour when you're dating. Marriage is a very, very different situation. So
I think maybe the problem of Love is Blind, the prolificness of Love is Blind, right?
Yeah.
Is that it has made marriage feel like it's not that big a deal.
Yeah. And that's the harsh reality. And I really wish they kept emphasising that this is a real wedding. People do get married. They do sign the contract. Your family
going to be here.
Fam.
Your family are you're going to fly people in to waste their time.
That's the same thing you could say about Bada and what's his face?
Bada and Jed.
Yeah, like she knew she was going to say no because there started to be, they were bickering even more in the lead up to her getting married. You know, from the arguments I had about the paying of the card at the restaurant and Bada taking on the check, even though Jed had said, no, I will look after it. To the fact that on multiple different occasions, Bada was like, look, I'm hyper independent. I don't know if I'm like used to this, but I'm going to continue working hard. I'll be honest, Bada and Jed, when I finished the pod episodes, I thought they were going to be the only one that's going to say yes.
Yes,
I thought everyone
I was
else.
really surprised.
Yeah, I thought they were going to say yes. I felt like all the other couples were not strong enough. Kieran and Megan, I didn't find them as serious. But actually, you know, unfortunately, they didn't live up to the expectations that we had. And at the reunion, it was even odder. It was even more odd.
I think they've made a pact to each other to not be 100% truthful with what had gone on in that relationship. Because I still don't really understand why she said no. Because if I can't imagine feeling so strongly about paying a bill that I'm willing to not get married. It doesn't, like, something about that's not making sense. Maybe there are other aspects of her independence that he had a problem with. I do not believe that she wants to pay for stuff so badly that she's willing to be single for the rest of her life.
Oh yeah, 100%.
It's weird.
Yeah.
So I think it's something else. And and then at the reunion, she said there was something where she was like, they were asking her, oh, if you had the choice, you would do it again, and she said something like, yeah, you know, knowing what I know now, I understand that we wouldn't be a fit. And then, like, as they're talking about it, it's like, oh, they were going on dates and they were dating each other, but then they went to the gym and he told her to hide her ring, and then that's when she knew that he didn't care about her. And it's like, this feels so small.
But because of the ex-girlfriend was there.
But still,
it's true.
We're not married.
Yeah, that is true.
Is that unreasonable for me to not want you to tell people that I'm married if I'm not married?
True.
We're not even engaged.
Yeah. I just think everything about it was sketchy and
just didn't make sense. And him being upset that she took the ring off when you asked her to take off the ring. Just
exactly.
We're missing. I feel like there are steps in the story that they are keeping from us.
Yeah.
Because I don't understand the smooth transition from that to we should actually never see each other. Like when they were like, I wish him a nice life far away from me. No. Is it that serious?
Yeah, I think it's something deeper that we were not understanding. No.
And he felt very muted.
Yes.
He didn't give anything away. It just felt like he was trying not to talk.
Yeah.
In case he tripped himself up or tripped her up or whatever story they had concocted. But something did not make sense to me.
So, I think we talked about all the other couples. Oh yeah, Spleen and Anu.
Let's talk about Patrick.
So, okay, actually I did have a lot to say about this. Lord give me strength. So, Anu is, I was talking about Patrick. Patrick, as soon as he entered the pods, he stood out for one particular reason.
He was tall.
He was tall,
but when he had a bandana on.
And he had a bandana on. And he had gems in his hair as well.
Yes. Yeah. That'll do it.
So, when he was on those dates, he said that he doesn't necessarily trust his gut, he trusts his spleen.
He's part of a cult.
Yeah, and he's a something coach.
Human design.
Yeah.
It's called human design. It's a cult.
Yeah. Because I was like, is a cult or unemployment? And either one, whatever floats your boat. But he was saying that I focus on my spleen to make decisions on, you know, what I want to do with my life. I'm going to use that splenic awareness to make a decision on who to marry. And Anu, she starts speaking to him, and, you know, one of the questions was, are you spiritual? Are you religious? Do you believe in God? She asks that to Patrick, and then that's when he's explaining the splenic awareness. He explains that he's more spiritual. He also explains things along the lines that, like, he says something about he doesn't listen to his parents, or something like that, or like
that's later.
Yeah.
Once things are starting to go south, but there was a bit where she said something. He asked her, if your parents didn't approve of the marriage, would you do it still? She said, well, I really care about my mum and I really respect her opinion, so probably not. And he was like, I couldn't be with someone who listened to their parents, to other people. Yeah. And she's like, other people? It's like my mum. But just very low vibrational.
Yeah, and then again, another red flag. But one thing that really got me was, like, he's saying he's spiritual, he follows his spleen, And throughout the course of their dating, Anu kept on saying, okay, well, I'm a Christian, I'm religious. And they felt like she was always trying to like mold her faith to what Patrick wanted it or how he viewed life. And that was starting to really bug me, because I'm like, you, Anu, trust in the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. This guy
Maybe she doesn't.
Yeah, but this guy is trusting in an organ that I don't think he even knows where it is in his body. So I felt like she was trying to make it happen, but I also don't think you need to compromise your faith. Same way that like Ashley doesn't need to compromise her job for a relationship. I don't think she should have compromised her faith. And
she's obviously not that faithful.
Potentially,
that's the way. I'm sorry. I don't believe that if you really believed in something, you would bend to your will like that. You obviously, again, are a pick-me. I want to make it out the pod.
Oh, 100%.
You'll say you're spiritual, I'm spiritual. If you hear the spleen thing, you think it's the same as you go to church on every Sunday and they're putting your life in God's hands, and you think those things sound the same, that's on you, isn't it?
True. That's very true.
That's on you.
That's very true.
You want to be picked more than you care about your faith. You want to be picked more than you care about yourself, period.
Yeah. And then when the period, I knew it for you context as a singer, Patrick says, oh, I'd love to hear you sing, but, you know, initially Annie's a bit shy about it. And Annie was like, okay, look, you know, she decided to write a song for him. And then she was just about to perform it, and that's when he was like,
well, no, that's not exactly
okay,
how
then
that
you can explain it then.
No, it's he asked her to sing in on a date, and she refused to sing on that date. He didn't know she was going to go away and write a song
for him.
She only wrote that song because she could feel him pulling away when she didn't sing on the date. She didn't want to. I don't think she wanted to write a song for him. I don't think she wanted to sing for him.
No.
I think she thought, oh shit, you're my only sure thing. And I'm getting the sense that you don't want to do this anymore, so now I've got to pull out
the stops.
And she pulled out the stop, and it was too late.
And he was like, no, my spleen is just not really like feeling this, so I'm going to have to end this. And then,
I did feel for her though, because why did he let her go through the whole date? Like, they had the whole date. She was about to play him the song, and he was like, oh, do you know what? I don't like you no more. Weirdo.
It was really weird. And then again, it feels like with like between Cal, Patrick, Billy, everyone's like, well, I'm not interested, bye. Like, there's no working in a relationship, there's no commitment, no one's willing to try. Anyway, then we move on to the reunion. The Pod Squad reunion. And this is where I would say I was cringy for my life with this girl. You're a liar. Like, when she first saw Patrick, she was not feeling it. She
wanted a moment.
She so did. And perfectly honest, it really backfired on her, not even him. And after that episode, well, apart from when our guy Javin, no, he's not even our guy, when Javin wanted to get proof that the photo booth was covered up and he did nothing wrong, he phones Clinic Awareness to see if, can you vouch for me that nothing happened?
Also, let's not forget that Anu at the Pod Squad reunion, I thought was like flirting with Javin.
She was 100%. She was.
So actually, for her to be able to get out of that scot free, like, and again, she's not in a relationship with anyone, so it makes sense. But like, I think even that is like a really weird flip to me. It just reads off like, I need the screen time.
No, of course.
I want the screen time.
She's an aspiring singer. Like, of course, she would want the screen time. So to me, like, her behavior was weird, and then that's when she started like singing like, he's a liar, to Patrick. And Patrick's like, this is the reason why we weren't supposed to be together. Come to find out.
Also, quickly, before you go to the come to find out, Patrick's energy as well would make me so mad, because it's very even kill. Like, she did that whole big thing, and he was like, okay, well, this is the proof why we shouldn't be together. You did that whole song and dance just to be like,
nah, it's alright.
Do you know what? I wish you all the best. Like, if she thought she was going to get him screaming and shouting back, it's just nothing. He gave nothing. But he gave nothing the whole time, and you liked that.
Exactly, that's the thing. Like, girls, stand up. I was telling all the girls to stand up, but I feel like I do that every year. Anyway, we come to find out that Patrick had a child on the way for some parts of Love is Blind, And he recently gave birth to a baby.
He gave birth to a baby.
The mother gave birth to a baby.
Patrick Spleen didn't know though. That's the problem. So he didn't know when he came on Love Is Blind that he was going to be a dad because his spleen hadn't told him yet.
Yeah. Well, I think he's trying to beat the deadbeat allegations, but he didn't turn up to the reunion. Just handed over a statement which felt like a cop out.
Yeah, he also thinks he's so important that they're like, guys, everyone stop! You've got to read this statement from Patrick. Just all of you are fucking crazy.
Yeah,
everyone's insane.
So yeah, for me, those were all the couples that were worth talking about. Was there anything else you wanted to add?
No.
Yeah. So ratings. What would you rate it?
It's not worth rating. No, it's not.
I cannot believe you have never said not worth ratings to any show.
It wasn't even remotely entertaining.
No.
It felt like homework. I didn't even know the reunion came out. I was on TikTok in preparation for the episode and I saw someone's talking about Sarova and Cal breaking up. So I've gone to check Netflix. The reunion's been out.
Yeah, I think I'm glad the reunion happened, even though I wasn't surprised. When I saw the final episode had 3 weddings, I said, by the time we get to the reunion, I think only one's going to survive. And perfectly honest, after seeing Kieran and Megan, you kind of understand why.
Yeah.
I would rate this show about a 2. I like Love Is Blind, I've always done. The UK was marginally better than Series 7 of the USA, but the cast was not great. Pretty much quite bland. Lack diversity.
You need whoever is in charge of casting needs to be fired, and you need to start like being a bit more sneaky. Like you need to be going into these like offices and like doctors' surgeries and finding actual real people because these people aren't real. And for some reason, it's always the guys that are so much worse.
Yeah,
I don't know if it's just like across the board men are worse than women, but it made me think like, where are the villainous women actually? Where have we ever had a reunion where it's like you find out that the girl did something crazy?
That was more like The Ultimatum. Like it was on the other dating shows, it wasn't necessarily Love Is Blind. But
yeah, I don't know. I'm sick actually of coming to these reunions to hear, oh, turns out he's a bum, turns out he's a bum, like and then not ask it, and then having the audacity to ask the girlies afterwards, do you still believe in love?
Oh, girl, let them heal.
Read the room.
Let them heal. So that was pretty much Love Is Blind. I think our eyes are open that the series needed a lot of work. I still love the UK version. I just think it needs a lot more work for the series, series 3, which it will be coming out with, I imagine, this time next year, even earlier. What are we doing next week?
I was going to say, we should watch The Materialist.
We should watch The Materialists, yeah. Well, next time we're going to watch The Materialists and let you know how my love, Pedro Pascal, and my other love, Chris Evans,
and your love, Dakota Johnson,
we're doing in the film. But yeah, that's been it. Our eyes are open.
Some people's eyes are not open. So stop saying our eyes are open. Some people's eyes are not open. My eyes are open. Shoshana's eyes are not open.
I was trying to make it play on Love Is Blind.
You already did that. And then now you say it again. It's like you're trying to rub salt in my wound. Your eyes are not open. Drop it now.
But I was able to give you some commentary. But I hope you can see the love too. Through your AirPods.
Finish the pod. Finish the pod.
This has been Scripts and Giggles with Shoshana
and Marnie.
Thank you guys.
Bye.
Bye.